Our tomato and pepper cultivation is ongoing right now. Welcome to Paradiso Farm and Resort here in Abeokuta, Ogun State. So we are here for physical allocation of our, farmland right here at Paradiso Farm and Resort. So before I will take you to the MD to go and hear everything from the horse's mouth by himself and take you through the process of the allocation that we are doing right here today at Paradiso Farm and Resort. I'd like to please stay tuned, relax, as I'm going to give you more information about this, mind-blowing opportunity right here in Abeokuta. Let's go to MD. He's going to address everyone here today, both the clients, the stakeholders, and the renters here today. So let's go to MD.
You're welcome to Paradiso Farm, and I'm glad to have you here. Some people, this is not their first time. For some people, this is their first time. But I can promise you that it's going to be an experience. And this is farming like you've never seen before, probably. But we are doing something different as agro-local. And that is where you get to benefit a whole lot from our ecosystem. Just to give you like a background to what we are doing as a company, so you know how we are partnering, how we are changing the game, how we are pioneering, right? Right from the start or right from the inception of agro-local, we have always made sure that whatever we are doing, we are pioneering. We are starting it first, but we also believe on testing the model first before expanding. And the goal of this project in particular has always been to make sure that clients can benefit from short term and long term. We as a company, we don't want to wait 4 years, 5 years before we know what we are achieving as a company. Some people can wait for 4 years, but I as a farmer, I cannot wait for 4 years. Right? It can benefit the company, it can also benefit you. You also get to be part of an ecosystem where you own land, the land works for you, then it's repeatable, then you can also benefit from long term. And that's why when we started this project in October. So whatever you are seeing on the farm here has been the work from October last year. October, November, December, January, and the work is not stopping. So you would also ask, what can you see on the farm here? What have we done? One of the things that we particularly done is to make sure that security is paramount, because we have staff that are residents on the farm. This is not a farm that we visit, right? We have staff on the farm. We have our security officers with their own lodge. We have the car park area. We are currently in the park house. This is where we do all of the sorting of the produce, the crating, before we take it out of this place. The next building you're going to see is our staff lodge. We have 3 rooms, it's a 12-bed space, and we have a sick bay, we have a common room. Then you would also see that the farm is fully solar powered. You notice that when you're driving here, you will not see any light pole, you will not see any NEPA signage, whatever. The farm is totally off-grid. So we have 2 solar inverter systems that run on the farm. We have a 10 kV inverter with a 7.5 kilowatt battery, and we also have a 5 kilowatt inverter, 5 kV inverter with a 5 kilowatt battery as well. Then the next building you also see is our farm storage. That's where you get to see our seeds, our fungicide, our pesticides, our irrigation materials, all that has been procured, all that is being procured, and all that will be procured. That is where you see it in the farm storage. So our processes are quite evident. Then the top building you also see is our farm workers room. And also the last building you see on this stretch is our admin building. That houses the farm conference room, where we'll have executive meetings, discuss strategy, go over what we have done, what we achieved. If we have visitors on the farm, we can host them in the conference room. We want to show them like a drone view of the farm and everything. Then we also have an office there as well. Then on this side, you get to see our cold room. I think I'm particularly proud of our investments in the cold room, because it took a lot from us, and it's a 40 million naira investment. It's over 40 million actually, but thank you fantastic.
Sorry.
Like I said, we are doing things different. The perishability of the produce that we are putting out is something very important that we do not waver with. We do not belittle on. That's why you see most of the tomatoes, they are just out from the cold room. So if you touch them, they are still cold a bit, right? And we looked at the perishability, and we knew that investing in cold chain storage is very important. That was why we made that investment. And then, what Paradiso is in general is that it is a hub of different agricultural activities. That is why at some part of the field you will see a sweet potato section. At some part of the field you will see a tomato section in which we are still expanding the area of cultivation. Then at some point you will see a cucumber section. Then you also see our pepper section. And at some point you will see our greenhouse. Most of you must have seen it. It's a 10 by 40 greenhouse where we'll be growing strictly bell pepper, right? And in the coming months, if you come back here in a month's time, you would have seen our poultry standing, right? So the poultry, the produce, the cold room serves all of that, right? That is for us to be able to produce as much as possible, because if we say we are fighting food insecurity, we have to be able to produce consistent supply. We don't have a market access problem. We don't have a production problem. We don't have a logistics problem because we have invested in our own van, right? We don't have a cultivation problem. So what it is for you as a client into an ecosystem is that you get to own land, but then you also get to be part of our batch cultivation, right? So we can do this as repeatable as possible. Batch A, batch B, batch C, batch D, as the season goes. But one of the things we are also trying to transition to is strictly greenhouse farming. Right? We started with open field cultivation, but in the coming months, you'll be seeing us put up more greenhouses where we'll have your pepper, cucumber, we'll have tomato, what have you. But we are trying to make sure that the farm is profitable enough for both us as a company and you as a client, and this is as repeatable as possible. Then you will also ask that as we are locating you, what do you stand to gain, where your plot is, and all of that. When the project started, we wanted to start with long term. But we looked at it that to run an agri-business and to know what to get from it, we cannot start with long-term offers, because that will not allow us to put the necessary infrastructure as you see. Because as you see on the farm, we have our head farm manager, we have our agronomists, we have our greenhouse manager, we have our farm inventory officer, we have farm workers, we have farm security on the farm, right? So this allows the farm to run day in, day out with the daily routine, right? If you are chilling at home waiting for tomato pepper, don't worry, we are on the farm from Monday to Sunday, making sure that the field is attended to. That is the work we have chosen. But if you say where your plot is, you are locating, how do you benefit? So we needed to prove that the short-term value was profitable and was possible. And we have done that. That is why we are now rolling out long-term offers. So long-term offers in terms of cocoa and oil palm. So what that affords us is that we are not putting out any vague revenues. Everybody knows that oil palm is profitable. But when we start to tell you that you make 10-15 million naira a year, it's not feasible, right? We all know it is profitable. But let us focus on the setup. So one of the things we've done is we are not an island of knowledge for agriculture. We have done the necessary partnerships to make sure that the setup and management is done on each and every client's plot. So while the short-term investment is ongoing within the company reserve area, your long-term investment is ongoing on your plot. So we'll also be rolling out the structure in which we are taking with it, because we know that we cannot plant the entire 300 and something acres at once. So we'll be doing it in steps. Maybe batch block A, block B, block C. The timeline can be like July 1st to July 31st. So everybody between block A, block B, that means you have to revert back to your documents to know what block am I in, right? So that way we'll be able to achieve the project time after time, and we'll be able to have consistent production after the first fruiting. But that being said, production for the short term does not stop. So I want to welcome you to Paradiso Farms. We're going to start the allocation process, but I also want to give us an opportunity to do like a quick farm tour. and don't take much of your time. If you've not been here before, if you've been here before, no problem. But if you've not been here before, could we do like a quick farm tour? Is that possible? Alright, so let's start. We'll start with, we take farm safety very important. So you have to wear your farm boots. When you wear your farm boots, they also give you farm hats to prevent the sun from hitting you. Yeah,
the weather is cool.
The weather is cool, it's cool, man. Where's the sun? That's good. So we'll just take a quick farm tour. We'll show you all the infrastructures that we have on the farm and what we plan to do. We'll just do that quickly and come back so we can start the allocation process.
All right, so this is our pack house. This is where we do all of the sorting. When we harvest from the field, this is where we do the sorting, the crating, the weighing before we take it into the cold room. That is our cold room. It's a 7.5-ton modular cold storage system. It's powered by an 8 kVA inverter and a combined total of 45 kilowatt battery. Right, the inverter systems are at the back, but then we'll also be getting there. That's the final thing that we'll show you. Then this is our staff lodge. So right here we have about 3 rooms. Each room has a 4-bed space, right? And then we have a common room. That is where our solar inverter is. And we have a sick bay, and we have 2 public toilets, right? The rooms are en suite. The public toilets are for visitors on the farm because we don't want you to enter the bush to go and ease yourself, right? Yes, on our tomato. All right, so if you want to do a quick tour, let's go inside. If you want to make your video, let's go inside. All right, here we have our 10 kVA inverter. So all of the lights on the farm, all of the fans on the farm, all of the boreholes on the farm, because on the farm we have about 3 boreholes with an average depth of 150 to 170 meters. So this is what powers all the lights, all the fans, all the boreholes, every single thing on the farm, right? That's the 10 kVA inverter and the 70.5 kilowatt battery. Then this is the backup power. This is 5 kVA, 5 kilowatts. So if we use this to about like 10 p.m., the light goes off, we switch to this. This lasts us till the next day and beyond. So in the next morning, we can turn on our boreholes with this, right? So the light never goes off on the farm. If you even see videos of the night view of the farm, you will know that we take security very seriously, all right? So this is the common area. This is where the agronomists, the farm managers, this is where they work from. You need to have like quick meetings or whatever. This is where they do it, right? Let's go. Let's go to the next building we have on the farm. All right, let's come in. All right. So you might be asking, what kind of seeds do we use? What kind of fungicides do we use? Our processes are evident. Our seeds are here. This is the farm storage. This is manned by the farm inventory officer. So we do daily tracking of our stock. We know the total value of what is inside this place. I can even say this is probably the most valuable building on the farm, right? That section, we have our irrigation materials. What we need for irrigation till the end of the year is being procured, right? In terms of our drip tape, our lay flat, our connectors, end cap, what have you. And then we have our farm inputs. Here, some of our seeds, our herbicides, our pesticide, fungicides, and many more, right? And then this way, we have our nursery care materials. We have potting mix, we have cocoa pits. That's what we use to prepare the seeds in our nursery for germination within 4 weeks before we transplant to the field. Then we also have fertilizers that way as well. We have organic fertilizers, and then we have NPK. Then that way, we also have our gari. We harvested cassava from our farm, we processed it, and we bagged it. Right now, we are selling. So if you want to buy gari, please patronize us. Thank you very much. This is the farm storage. Okay, at this point, this was the first structure on the farm, actually. Like I said, as a company, we like to start on a small scale before we go on a big scale. So the first ever structure, at this point, is even a monument right now for us. So this was the first structure on the farm. This was where our workers were sleeping at the time, right? Before we now built this for them. So all of our farm workers, all the artisans, the carpenters, the bricklayers, the electricians, the plumbers, this is where they all sleep. And then the last building on that stretch is our admin building, right? I don't know if you want to go there, no problem. But it houses a conference room, a standard conference room, and then One of those rooms there is, I'm proud to say, is my office. Thank you. Right, and then that's our nursery. So let's do a quick tour into the nursery. Then we'll go to the cold room and then back to the pack house. Then you get to see our tomato seeds that are ready for transplanting, our pepper seeds that are ready for transplanting to the open field. So this is our nursery. This is where we nurse the tomato and pepper seedlings before we transplant to the open field, right? And they undergo the necessary care here. This place was even fuller than before, but we have done a lot of transplanting. We are even preparing another area so that we expand the area of cultivation. Because like I said, we don't have a market access problem. We don't have a production problem. So it is left on us to match up our supply with the demand. As you know, the price of tomato and pepper in the market right now is crazy. But the fact remains, the prices are not static. So there is no way, there are some days we sell for high, there are some days we sell for low. But the days we sell for high will complement the days we sell for low. So what that gets you as an investor is that at least you have a buffer where we know that, oh, that's a baseline that we cannot pay below, right? But the fact remains that for us on the field, the work continues, production continues. We are the ones signing the deals. But if a client says that they want to off-take maybe produce, they can off-take their produce. For instance, if your expected kg is, let's say 1,000 kg, which is 1 ton, you can request that from us. So we will schedule that in our harvest days. It might be a time period of, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, or 7 harvests, 8 harvests to get that, right? But the fact remains that we are doing all of the work, we have all of the expertise, and the work does not stop. So this is where we nurse all of the seedlings before we transplant to the open field. And then let us just do a final tour of the cold room. Then we get back to the pack house. Like I said, you don't want to take much of your time. So we have our tomato section, we have our pepper section down there. Then we also have our cucumber section. Like I said, we are trying to integrate into greenhouse farming. But the fact remains that we have to start with open field, right? It has to be profitable first before we make the necessary investments in greenhouse, because it's not cheap. Just the structure of greenhouse alone, it depends on your size though, it's in millions, right? But we've been harvesting from this tomato. I mean, we should have maybe more or less like 3 more harvests before we terminate this batch. We have another batch at the back so that supply never ends. There's no gap between the supply and demand. There's another batch that will start flowering and start fruiting. Then there is another third batch. We're also preparing that area and expanding the area of cultivation, right? So that we can meet up with expectations. Then we also have our cucumber area. We just concluded a cycle. Another cycle is currently ongoing. We have tatashe, we have habanero that way. So then let us go to the cold room area. All right, you are welcome to our most prized possession. Let it not get too crowded. Please make your...
Don't need of my phone in there.
Please don't spend too much time in there. Let's come outside, We're trying to make it as hygienic as possible. All right, please just... This is our most prized possession on the farm.
Yes. I know it will be expanded later.
Yes, it will. It will be expanded. All right, quick check. Come out, please.